All right, I thought I'd give a little bit of an update since it's been a few days since I've made a video. I am obviously not in my normal office area, and the reason why is the realtor for the property that we're trying to sell is wanting to do pictures on Friday. Today's Wednesday. And we could we could have tried to come up some other time and well, let me back up, I guess. Wanted to come up on Friday, so we needed to get all of our stuff out of the third car garage that we have so that they could take pictures of it. But there wasn't a good time for me to go up, and I couldn't really take off work because I've already taken a decent amount of time off work between vacations and sick time. And so I also didn't want to spend a full 4 or 5 days between driving the 8 hours and then also up there and moving stuff around in the evenings. So I decided to just do it all in 2 days or 3 days. So I drove up Monday night, stayed at a little hotel, halfway, a little over halfway, and then went the rest of the way. And bunch of stuff went wrong. Mainly my fault for not pre-planning. I didn't book the hotel ahead of time. I knew that I could roll up and get the hotel once I arrived there, and I wanted to book it with points because I don't have to come out money out of pocket, and the cash value of the points would be less than what the actual hotel is charging per night because it's a Hyatt. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Well, I got there much later than I anticipated, so it was 12 a.m., so it was technically the next day. So the app didn't let me book it for that night. And then I guess you can't do point bookings in person. It has to be on the app. So I ended up wasting $200 there for a hotel stay, which was pretty expensive. And then once I did get to where my rental properties are, I had also got there a little later than normal, and I had not booked a storage unit or a U-Haul to transfer everything, and so was running around trying to figure out how to get a U-Haul truck, and anyway, spent a long time on that. Then finally realized that you can book a U-Haul truck even after hours, and I guess most U-Haul places will just pre-stage a key in a lockbox, and so they have 1 to 5 or however many trucks they want that they pre-stage, and then as long as those pre-stage vehicles are available after hours, you can just go ahead and book it without anyone being there, which is super cool. I didn't realize that, but it was a whole ordeal and got out of it much later. Had one of my tenants help me. Oops, sorry, a little notification came in, so I was clearing it on my phone. Had one of my tenants, asked him if he could come help me, and I gave him a little cash on Venmo to kind of help with that. So I think overall it did go. I got the result that I wanted of not being out for too long. I'm probably 1/4 of the way back home. No, halfway home. I'll stop in a town here, work at a Starbucks for most of the day, maybe take a nap during lunch, and then after work I'll drive the rest of the way home and be home around dinner time, 5-ish or so. So it definitely worked out, but very annoyed with myself in terms of allowing for all these different things to go wrong, from either poor lack of planning, poor planning, and then also just like I forgot to bring the lock with me when I went with one of my renters to unload everything at the storage unit. And so then I was just gonna go back afterwards after I dropped him off and put the lock on it, and then I forgot about that, probably because I was a little sleep deprived, but also I have a tendency to forget things like that, and so I don't know how to fix that scenario in particular. Also forgot to grab some mail from my other property. I grabbed it from the property that I was moving all the stuff out of, but I forgot to grab the mail address to me for my other property, and that was something that I was planning on doing. It just completely spaced on that. So I don't know how to make sure that I don't forget stupid little things like that. Obviously the whole ordeal with paying for the hotel out of pocket and the U-Haul truck thing and getting started on moving stuff at like 3 hours later than I anticipated, that I should have just been better about planning that. And like I keep realizing that the more that you can pre-plan or pre-stage or like make a decision before it's in the present, like it's just worth it. Even if you think like, oh, maybe plans will change, because that was what I was thinking. I won't make a hotel reservation because maybe plans will change or something, or I'm feeling good and so I can drive further. But it was pretty easy to look at the drive times and what time it was and be able to confidently say, yeah, I'm not going to be wanting to drive past 12:30 a.m. That's just not happening, especially since the next town over after that would have been the town with my rental properties, and that was like another 3 hours. So yeah, that was pretty stupid of me not to realize that wasn't really an option. So I think the two big things I'm trying to remind myself of are, one, pre-planned stuff is always good, and then with the pre-planned stuff, you can always cancel. Most cancellation policies are pretty relaxed. And then two, you don't always need to be squeezing out every last bit of efficiency, because then that's kind of where like the efficiency curve drops. Like in this case, I was trying to be as efficient as possible and drive as far as I possibly could, and then it ended up costing me because I was not planning correctly. I paid for a hotel that I wasn't planning on because I was planning on using points, which I got from credit card sign-up bonuses, which are free as long as you're getting those bonuses buying stuff that you already would buy, which I do. So yeah, optimizing to the very nth degree is definitely not worth it, and I'm trying to get better at that. And I'm rambling here, I guess, trying to remind myself the things that I want to get better at. But plans for today is to continue driving back home, and the whole reason why I did this, one, over such a condensed period, and then two, or yeah, I guess mainly over the condensed period, is because my wife and I wanted to go to Disneyland, and we're kind of using Disneyland as it makes us happy, and it's in our life right now, it's one of the few like things that feels like it's going right and feels like it's a nice little break from the craziness and all that. It's also relatively cheap because we already have some the annual passes, and then we have free hotels, free flights from miles and points, and then also even the Ubers and the food that we get. I try to get most of, if not all of that, covered by bank account bonuses, of signing up for a new bank account, getting the bonus, saving a little money off to the side for taxes, because that's taxable income, and then the rest of it's just pure profit, regular income. So although I could try to save all of that extra bank account bonus money and points and stuff, and say, hey, that should be going towards a house, which is our main goal right now, or going towards some other actual goal instead of just for fun on Disneyland or any other entertainment. If going to Disneyland or some other entertainment means that we can continue to chug along and not, make life a little bit easier. I was gonna say easier mentally. That sounds really weak, but it just makes life a little more enjoyable. Than I would probably say it's a good thing. So maybe I'll change my mind about that. But we like the idea of cutting down other parts of our life to optimize for, in this case, the Disneyland. Even though it sounds ridiculous, and it definitely is, but for us, it's what's important right now. So, yeah, doing some thinking on what I want our life to look like over the next few months, seasons, transitioning and whatnot between my wife working her current job and maybe transitioning to some sort of tech job, similar to what I do as a software developer. And then also trying to figure out, there's Ali Abdaal is a YouTuber, productivity YouTuber, mainly is what he's known for. And he's got this whole concept of feel-good productivity, which he wrote a book about, which I want to read. But his whole thing is, yeah, we can push and grind and do the whole like hustle culture mentality, or we could just say, hey, what would doing this thing look like if it were fun? And then we don't get burnt out. We don't have to deal with not enjoying the process. And what's the saying? Like the man who loves walking will walk farther than the man who's only walking to try to get to a certain destination, or something like that. So try optimizing for enjoying the process, even if it means that your total output in the short term is less, like on a per day or per week basis. If your the total output or time that you're inputting into your goal is less than someone else who's burning the midnight oil, so to speak, you're going to be better off in the long run. And that's something I know I'm somewhat of, like, I like extremes of extreme on or extreme off. I definitely do that with my diet, in terms of I'm either like super clean, eating really good foods, or I'm just kind of like, whatever, we're just gonna have a cheat day or whatever. And I know that's not, I could get a lot better with, well, being slightly suboptimal, not trying to fully optimize 100% for perfect diet or perfect whatever all the time, because then it eventually means that I break or I get sick of it. And so if I'm optimizing for a little bit less efficiency or whatnot, then I think that's a better deal. And I'm basically just in a rambling point, still trying to figure out what to learn from this whole craziness with the house, well, specifically with moving everything, because so much went wrong. I wasted so much time. All of my typical habits took a little bit of a hit, and I didn't do as many as I should. Hopefully I'll catch up over lunch on those. Yeah, it's been interesting to see my habits and stuff and tendencies come out, and especially having to document and talk about it and thinking out loud. And I've got a lot of time in the car to mule over it. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'll send some more updates or create some more videos and some more updates if I think of anything or come across anything. But I think for now, that's probably it for today. And yeah, next video will be back to the normal office and typical updates. See you guys.